Okay, hello. This is like take 10 of this video, and I actually had to move out to my car, and my cat is walking on the car right now, but you can't see it. But I am doing the book called Too Many Tamales, and the author is Gary Soto, and the illustrator is Ed Martinez. Snow drifted through the streets, and now that it was dusk, Christmas trees glittered in the windows. Maria moved her nose off the glass and came back to the counter. She was acting grown up now, helping her mother make tamales. Their hands were sticky with masa. That's very good, her mother said. Maria happily kneaded the masa. She felt grown up, wearing her mother's apron. Her mom had even let her wear lipstick and perfume. If only I could wear Mom's ring, she thought to herself. Maria's mother had placed her diamond ring on the kitchen counter. Maria loved that ring. She loved how it sparkled like the Christmas tree lights. When her mom left the kitchen to answer the telephone, Maria couldn't help herself. She wiped her hands on the apron and looked back at the door. I'll wear the ring just for a moment, she said to herself. The ring sparkled on her thumb. Maria returned to kneading the masa, her hands pumped up and down. On her thumb, the ring disappeared, then reappeared in the sticky glob of dough. Her mother returned and took the bowl from her. Go get your father for his part, she said. Then the three of them began to spread masa onto the corn husks. Maria's father helped by plopping spoonfuls of meat in the center and folding the husk. He then placed them in a large pot on the stove. They made 24 tamales as the windows grew white with delicious smelling curls of steam. A few hours later, the family came over with armfuls of bright presents. Her grandparents, her uncle and aunt and cousins, Dolores, Teresa, and Danny. Maria kissed everyone hello. Then she grabbed Dolores by the arm and took her upstairs to play, with her other cousins tagging along after them. They cut out pictures from the newspapers, pictures for toys that they were hoping were wrapped and sitting underneath the Christmas tree. As Maria snipped out a picture of a pearl necklace, a shock spread through her body. The ring, she screamed. Everyone stared at her. What ring? Dolores asked. Without answering, Maria ran back to the kitchen. The steaming tamales lie piled on a platter. The ring is inside one of the tamales, she thought to herself. It must have come off when I was kneading the masa. Dolores, Teresa, and Danny skidded into the kitchen behind her. Help me, Maria cried. They looked at each other. Danny piped up first. What do you want us to do? Eat them, she said. If you bite something hard, tell me. The four of them started eating. They ripped off the husks and bit into them. The first one was good. The second one was pretty good. But by the third tamale, they were tired of the taste. Keep eating, Maria scolded. Corn husks littered the floor. Their stomachs were stretched till they hurt. But the cousins kept eating until only one tamale remained on the plate. This must be it, she said. The ring must be in this one. We'll all each take a bite. You first, Danny. Danny was the youngest, so he didn't argue. He took a bite. Nothing. Dolores took a bite. Nothing. Teresa took a bite. Still nothing. It was Maria's turn. She took a deep breath and slowly, gently bit into the last mouthful of tamale. Nothing. Didn't any of you bite into something hard? Maria asked. Danny frowned. I think I swallowed something hard, he said. Swallowed it? Maria cried, her eyes big with worry. She looked inside his mouth. Teresa said, I didn't bite into anything hard, but I think I'm sick. She felt her stomach with both hands. Maria didn't dare look into Teresa's mouth. She wanted to throw herself onto the floor and cry. The ring was now in her cousin's throat, or worse, in his belly. How in the world could she tell her mother? But I have to, she thought. She could feel tears pressing to get out as she walked into the living room where the grown-ups sat talking. They chattered so loudly that Maria didn't know how to interrupt. Finally, she tugged her mom's sleeve. What's the matter? Her mother asked. She took Maria's hand. I did something wrong, Maria sobbed. What? Her mother asked. Maria thought about the beautiful ring that was now sitting inside Danny's belly and got ready to confess. Then she gasped. The ring was on her mother's finger, bright and as pretty as ever. The ring! Maria nearly screamed. Maria's mother scraped off a flake of dried masa. You were playing with it, she smiled gently. I wanted to wear it, Maria said, looking down at the rug. Then she told them all about how she'd eaten the tamales. Her mother moved the ring a little on her finger. It winked a silvery light. Maria looked up at Aunt Rosa, and she winked at her too. It looks like we all have to cook up another batch of tamales, Rosa said cheerfully. Maria held her stomach full as everyone filed into the kitchen, joking and laughing. At first, she still felt like crying as she kneaded a great bowl of masa next to Aunt Rosa. As she pumped her hands up and down, a leftover tear fell from her eyelashes into the bowl, and for just a second rested on her finger, sparkling like a jewel. Then Rosa nudged her with her elbow and said, Hey, Nina, it's not so bad. Everyone knows that the second batch of tamales always tastes better than the first, right? When Dolores, Teresa, and Danny heard that from the other side of the room, they let off a groan and the size of 24 tamales. Then Maria couldn't help herself. She laughed, and pretty soon everyone else was laughing, including her mother. When Maria put her hands back into the bowl of masa, the leftover tear was gone. I really enjoyed this book. Let me read off the ISBN number. It's 0399221468. Actually, that was the wrong one. That was for the ebook. This one is 978-1606-172025. Now, I really like this book. Even though they are from a different culture, everything remains the same. The values of honesty, forgiveness, feeling guilty, apologetic and remorseful, and sadness, they still remain the same. Maria had done something wrong, and like in our culture, she didn't know how to tell her mom that she had taken the ring without permission, and she learned how to confess, and it took her trial and error by eating the 24 tamales and having a bellyache after the fact, but she got up the nerve to be honest and tell her mom the truth, and her mom forgave her, and everybody was able to laugh about it, just like in, everyday life. We all make mistakes, and, we choose to not wallow on that situation all the time, and we can laugh about it after the fact. So, some different things that I would choose to do with the students, with this activity, with this book. Like I stated, the different values that this book poses, I would actually have them to define honesty and define forgiveness and being, what does guilty mean, and what does it mean to be apologetic, and what it means to feel sad. And I would have them, put it in their own words, and also, provide examples of times that they felt, they've had honesty, and or they've forgiven someone, or they felt guilty about something, or they felt sad about something, such as Maria losing her mom's ring. And the different skills of literacy that I would be able to use, I would try to expand on their vocabulary by pointing out unfamiliar words. And the words that I chose that I think that the kids would choose as well, tamales, masa, need, and scolded. And I would just, go through with those words and have them give me different ideas of what they think these words are. And then we would go back through the book and see if we can, investigate and see what these words actually mean. And I would explain to them that tamales are something that you eat and uses meat, cheese, and vegetables, sometimes fruit, and it's all mixed together. And they put it in the masa. The word masa was used a lot throughout the book. And it's actually a corn mixture. And you actually take it off before you eat the inside of the tamale. I actually didn't know that the first time I had a tamale. I tried to eat the corn husk, and that was very interesting. And I would also go over need. And I would tell them that that's what they do to soften the masa and shape it and give it its form. And then another word that, children may not understand, even though they hear that they are, disciplined all the time, is scolded. A lot of kids don't hear, I'm going to scold you. It's mostly, I'm going to punish you. So I would just let them know that those two words basically mean the same thing. And another thing that I would actually do to enhance their literacy skills is to, we've read the book about, learning how to be honest. I would actually have them, sit down with me and share a time that they may have taken something or done something without someone's permission. And that way that we are able to be able to go over, we'll be able to retell this story using our own story. And that's giving them skills of learning how to, retell things, comprehend our stories. And so that is it. I hope you guys actually go out and try to find this book. It is very good. I didn't know that it was going to be that good. But I had a friend suggest it to me, and I'm really glad that I read it. So this is Too Many Tamales by Gary Soto, and it's illustrated by Ed Martinez. And I hope you guys enjoyed my book share. Thank you.